Hello, I'm Crickets, and welcome to back to I Have a Story. Today I'm here to talk more about how I made a video talking about how lying to the people is a breach of national security. And this video I'm making right now is going to show even more in depth to that. I'm tired of hearing that nobody's above the law, but yet I watch around me and people who have titles and paychecks, they actually are above the law. You and me, the everyday people. Is it true for us? Follow along, please. Now, with allegations, and I'm tired of this. I'm tired of hearing this allegations and maybe somebody did something. Either there's proof that they did it or they didn't. And if you got proof, then people should be charged. And if there is no proof, we shouldn't be running our mouths because we have too many problems in our country to sit here and keep playing these games. And that's all it is. This politics today has turned into a giant soap opera, a TV drama. Nothing but a game to play the American people again. And I've had it. I'm tired of being played like a child. I'm tired of looking at my country getting played like children. Part of the reason people act like children because they get played like children. And it's part of why it continues. If people didn't fall for it, then they wouldn't get away with doing it, and they wouldn't be doing it. So I'm tired of this allegations. Either they did it or they didn't. I'm tired of looking up where my president tells me, look, caught him with their hand in the cookie jar, and then AI wants to say, oh, no, he's not being real about that. What is real anymore? The whole world is nothing but a delusion. And it has been for so long, so much of it. At least there was a day it felt innocent. Today it doesn't. It all just feels bad. I don't know a single person, not one that I talk to, who does not feel that way. Countless people. You see it all over the internet. Countless people feel that way. Hell, look at the road it's pushed Candace Owens down. Even though there's more to her story than just that. But supposedly, Gretchen Whitmer gave away $20 million in tax funds to somebody who gave her money. But according to that, there's no evidence that there was any sort of tax fraud. I mean, what the hell? Somebody gives a politician money, and then our politician turns around and gives them $20 million in tax funds? And that's not, I mean, we don't have money to take care of our state. I've already aired the story about our EMSs going broke because they can't get paid because our state doesn't have any money in the budget. But we've got $20 million just to give to our governor's friend. But nobody's above the law. Oh yeah, let's don't forget. She took almost $30,000 to pay for a trip to go see her dad because that has anything to do with our state, our funds. She's already a multimillionaire. She can't afford that on her own. But this is supposedly proven and supposedly fact. She spent almost $30,000 in tax funds on her own personal use when she's a multi-millionaire. How many other cases of wrongful spending is even taking place that we don't even know about, that's not being reported? I've already aired how many stories that are not getting reported. How much more is going behind the scenes? I mean, typically they say for every one you find, there's 10 more that's happening. How much is really happening? But don't you think that Gretchen, don't you think that anybody's above the law? Oh yeah, our EMS director's complaining because they can't get paid and they're running out of money. I aired that story. But yet we've got millions to give away. Supposedly even billions, and I even aired the story where I'm in possession of and have shared it with you that our court systems are stealing from $150 give or take $1 million fund that's supposed to be going to our abused children, but they're taking the money and pocketing the money themselves. But nobody's above the law. That's a huge crime, stealing tax money over and over. But nobody's above the law, and you better believe it. Well, what happens when you, the everyday people, steal $4,000 in tax funds? Well, guess what? You get not only accused, but you get investigated, charged, and you get to go to jail, right? Is that how this that's really how this works? Better believe nobody's above the law. How about the Utah man who falsely claimed to be the shooter at the Charlie Kirk incident? But yet they found child pornography on his phone, and he's in jail and supposedly being charged with child pornography. But if you are a politician, you hold a high official seat, you hit and run a pedestrian, intoxicated, leave him for dead. Then when the FBI, and I mean, this is what I've been told by insiders in the system, they take your car, they take your phone, and find out you're actually committing these acts with children. A year and 2 months later, man's still walking free. All he did was lose his car and his phone. I guess that's justice nowadays, right? But not if it's you or me. If it's you or me, we go to jail. If you got a title and paycheck, nothing happens to you. We brush it under the rug and it all gets hidden. Even our news will not report it. I'll link at the end of this video a video I made talking about, I mean, I'm losing my mind. I'm going nuts. Our news even wants to hide these stories and sweep them under the rug. How much is really going on in our country that does not even get heard? But you better believe nobody's above the law. Oh yeah, if you're the highest paid official, government official, and you commit severe acts, lying under oath, lying to the people, actually being involved in funding this stuff and everything that Anthony Fauci did. What's happening to Anthony Fauci? Is he still walking free? I mean, we found this stuff out how long ago? This more and more and more just keeps coming, but all it's turned into is a mockery. A TV show. Isn't this enjoyable and fun to watch? It makes me sick. And I'm not the only one. This is, again, part of why it's a national security, because people are losing their mind. People, I mean, here's another old school saying that we used to have: if you can't beat them, join them. Every time incidences like this take place, and every day that goes by that this just becomes a mockery, the more people who just sit back and say, can't beat them, might as well join them. If they're getting away with it, I'm tired of living in this disgusting world, I might as well do it too. This is how you get ahead. This is how you become somebody, is by lying, cheating, stealing. And we wonder why our country's gone to hell. Why more and more violence and crime is taking place, right? Got your people losing their mind, you got your people joining them. This isn't, it used to be common sense. Oh, if you or I got caught with a gram of cocaine in the White House, wouldn't we be in jail immediately? Or caught committing federal felonies? All the countless things that have come out about Hunter Biden. Supposedly, on that laptop was videos of him in underage girls. Supposedly. What is real anymore? I don't even know. I don't even know what reality is anymore. Look what it's done to me. But if you're the president's son, you don't even get a slap on the hand. You just get made, again, another mockery, another television show. Yee-haw, close the door, sign the pardon, and if you're the president's son, you get to walk free. Would that happen if it was me or you? Yeah, right. I feel like they're just blowing smoke. That's all I feel like this is anymore. It's just a bunch of blowing smoke. If you or I committed the acts that the pudding pot man made, Bill Cosby. We care so much about children, right? We care so much about pedophiles and pedophilia that all we do when people have titles and paychecks is make a mockery of it. Make a dramatic TV show out of it. And then what happens? More and more people just get upset. More and more people feel the pain and feel hurt. I've been airing throughout my whole channel this stuff, and It just keeps continuing. But you better believe nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law, and the rules include government leaders, right? Government leaders must obey the same laws, but yet do they? Do they? If you and I got charged with felonies, and with Trump, I don't even know what to believe because they've made such, again, a mockery out of it all. Lies, delusion, games, jokes. It's all big fun and games when it's people with titles and paychecks. You and me, then it becomes serious and we're going to make an example out of you. But don't you think that nobody's above the law? Now, part of this that I found interesting was down here. Well, the president has the right to pardon people. It has to fall within the lines of the Constitution. Does anybody who's been pardoned fall in lines of the Constitution? Or is it all about ideology and games and, again, making a mockery out of everything in our country? But don't you believe nobody's above the law? These people are committing crimes above and beyond the severity of what most everyday people who are in jail are doing. Look at the Clintons. How much dirt have we seen on the Clintons? Even just what is supposedly factual. Oh, they tapped Trump's phones. Well, either there's proof they did or they didn't. And if there's proof they did, that's a huge breach of security. But yet, is anything happening to the Clintons? With all the dirt that has come up on them? Or are they still walking free? Millionaires. Laughing all the way to the bank. But we care so much about children. We care so much about pedophiles. We care so much about humanity. We care so much about right, wrong. All I feel like we're doing is blowing smoke.